We found the mirror by accident. The antique shop was tucked between two modern buildings, the kind of place you don't notice unless you're already slowing down. Inside, everything smelled like old wood and dust, memories stacked on shelves. We weren't looking for anything in particular, just killing time. Then my wife stopped. The mirror stood taller than both of us, framed in dark wood carved with delicate, almost floral patterns. The glass was flawless, no cracks, no stains. It reflected the shop perfectly, but somehow more clearly than it should have, as if it was showing a sharper version of reality. "It's beautiful," she whispered. I felt uneasy immediately, though I couldn't say why. It didn't look cursed. It didn't feel cold. It just waited. We bought it. At home, we placed it in our bedroom, against the wall across from the bed. At first, it was just furniture, a decoration, another old thing in a modern room. My wife admired it often, standing in front of it while getting ready, smiling at her reflection. As days passed, she lingered longer. She'd stand there quietly, fingers brushing the frame, eyes unfocused. Sometimes she'd talk, softly, but when I asked who she was talking to, she'd laugh and say she was thinking out loud. I began waking up at night, not suddenly, just slowly, like something was pulling me out of sleep. The room would be dark and silent except for her breathing beside me. And then one night, I saw her. A woman stood next to me. She was on my side of the bed, close enough that I could see strands of her long black hair hanging forward, hiding her face. She didn't move. She didn't breathe. My heart hammered as I turned my head, and there was no one there. My wife slept peacefully beside me. The mirror reflected only the room. I didn't tell her. The next morning, she asked me why I looked tired. Her eyes flicked to the mirror when she said it, just for a second too long. Things worsened quickly after that. She stopped spending time anywhere else in the house. She'd sit on the bed, facing the mirror, smiling faintly. Sometimes she'd reach out and touch the glass like she was comforting someone on the other side. I suggested moving it. She screamed. Not yelled. Screamed, collapsing to the floor like I'd threatened to kill someone. She cried so hard she couldn't breathe, clawing at the frame, begging me not to take it away. That night, I decided I was done. While she slept, I grabbed my phone and hurled it into the mirror. The glass shattered. I didn't wait to see the damage. I slept on the couch, heart racing, convinced I'd finally ended it. In the morning, the mirror stood whole, perfect, and not a scratch. My phone lay on the floor beneath it, cracked beyond repair. She smiled at me when I noticed. "I told you," she said softly, "it doesn't like that." After that, she began changing. She spoke less, to me at least. She laughed at things I couldn't hear. Sometimes when I caught her reflection, it didn't move exactly when she did, just a fraction of a second behind. Then one day, she didn't come home. Her car was in the driveway, her phone on the nightstand. No note, no sign of struggle, just absence. I searched everywhere. Police came, asked questions, left. That night, alone in the bedroom, I stood in front of the mirror. I felt it then, her presence, not behind me, inside the glass. I saw her, not clearly, not fully, but I felt her watching me back, pressed close, waiting. Trapped or willing, I couldn't tell. Sometimes when the room is quiet, I hear her breathing. Sometimes when I touch the glass, it's warm. And sometimes when I wake up at night, I swear there's someone lying beside me. They bought the mirror at an estate auction on a Sunday afternoon. The place was crowded, hot, and loud. People talking over one another, bidding on furniture they didn't need, laughing like it was all just entertainment. The mirror stood at the back of the room, taller than everything else, its dark wooden frame carved with twisting shapes that didn't seem to repeat properly if you stared too long. A small tag hung from one corner. The auctioneer cleared his throat before reading it. Antique bedroom mirror, origin unknown. Comes with, a story. That got a few laughs. He explained quickly, almost apologetically. Previous owners claimed the mirror caused disturbances, nightmares, changes in behavior. One disappearance that was never officially linked to it, sold as is. The young couple laughed openly. Every antique needs a creepy backstory, the girl said, squeezing her boyfriend's hand. Otherwise it's boring. They bid without hesitation. When they loaded it into their apartment later that evening, neither of them questioned where it should go. The bedroom felt obvious, necessary, as if the mirror had already chosen. The first few nights were calm. They slept well. The mirror stood quietly against the wall, reflecting the bed, the window, the soft glow of the city outside. The girl admired herself in it often, standing just a little too close, smiling like she was listening to something pleasant. Then she started lingering. She'd stand in front of it long after getting ready, fingers resting lightly on the glass. Sometimes she'd whisper. Sometimes she'd laugh softly, covering her mouth like she'd just been told a secret. He asked her about it once. She laughed and shrugged. "I like how I look in it. Don't be weird." The first night he woke up, he didn't know why. His eyes opened slowly, heavy with sleep. The room was dark, quiet. Then he felt it. Someone standing next to the bed on his side. He turned his head. A woman stood inches away. Long black hair hung forward, hiding her face completely. Her presence felt wrong. Not threatening, not violent. Just incorrect. Like something that didn't belong in the room had been placed there and forgotten. He blinked. She was gone. His girlfriend slept peacefully beside him. The mirror reflected only the room. He didn't sleep again that night. After that, small things began slipping. Her reflection didn't always move when she did. Sometimes it smiled when her face remained still. Sometimes it stayed standing even after she stepped away. When he pointed it out, she laughed harder than before. "You're imagining things," she said. But her eyes never left the mirror. The whispers began after that. He heard them late at night, soft voices bleeding through the silence, coming from the bedroom when he stood in the hallway. When he opened the door, the mirror reflected him perfectly. Nothing else. He smashed it for the first time in a panic. The chair shattered the glass in an explosion of sound, shards spraying across the floor. He stood there shaking, breathing hard, convinced he'd finally ended it. In the morning, the mirror was whole, not repaired, unbroken, standing exactly where it had always stood. His girlfriend smiled at him like she was proud. The second time, he used a hammer. The third time, he threw it out the window. The fourth time, he dragged it into the bathtub and smashed it until his arms hurt. The fifth time, he didn't even scream anymore. Every morning, it returned. Perfect. Waiting. With each attempt, she became calmer, kinder, almost affectionate. She stroked his hair when he shook. She laughed when he cried. "You can leave," she told him gently one night, "but it's already chosen." He stopped recognizing himself in the mirror. His reflection looked thinner, paler, slower. Sometimes it stared back at him with an expression he hadn't made yet. Sometimes it smiled first. One evening, she stood between him and the door. "You should go," she said softly, eyes glowing with something that wasn't love anymore. "Before it's too late." He ran. Friends said he showed up at their doors shaking, rambling about a mirror that couldn't be broken, about a woman with black hair who stood beside him at night. They tried to help, tried to calm him. Then he disappeared. Searches turned up nothing, no body, no evidence, just questions. The girlfriend stayed. When police questioned her, she was polite, cooperative, calm. She said he'd been unstable, said he talked about leaving all the time, said she hoped he was safe. That night she stood alone in the bedroom. The mirror reflected her perfectly now. Behind her reflection, something moved. A faint shape. A man watching, smiling. She smiled back. The bedroom finally felt complete.